Hello viewers, this is Just Fake Network TV, a place where you can get the latest information about Nigerian news and now the news in details. Researchers punches a lion in the face as it tries to hit him in Botswana. A wildlife researcher who was attacked by a starving lion in Africa punched the animal in the face as his friends threw elephant dung at it and hit it with a trunk in order to save his life. Gosneve, 32-year-old, was sleeping in his tent in the Okavango Delta in Botswana on December 7th when the emaciated predator punched and tried to kill him. Dr. Rahina von Brandis, a fellow researcher sleeping nearby, threw elephant dung and branches at the lion before hitting it with a piece of tree in a desperate attempt to save his friend's life. While naked from the waist down, head ranger Tomalet then threw a flashbang intended to frighten away elephant at the big cat before running it over with his jeep, which finally scared the animal back into the bush. Neve was rushed to hospital suffering 16 punctures wound from the lion's fangs, broken bones in his arm and elbows, and deep scratches from its claws, but is now recovering from his wound. Meanwhile, animal workers decided to put down the elderly lion who had been kicked out of his pride by younger rivals and left to starve, prompting him to launch the attack on Neve in a desperate final bid for survival. Neve, 32-year-old, suffered 16 punctures wound, broken bones in his arm and elbows, and deep scratches on his back and head as he was attacked by a lion in Botswana on December 7th. Recalling the terrifying 5-minute attack, Dr. von Brandis, 46, said, "I guess I was not a pretty sight in just a t-shirt, naked from the waist down and wearing a head torch, screaming at this lion who was attacking my friend." The married father of 2 from Cape Town is the research director of the Wild Bird Trust, was on an expedition with his pa Neve and 6 other researchers in the wild of Botswana. He said, "I heard ghosts screaming there and was something big outside his tent, and I ran out in the pitch black with my head torch on and saw this big male lion had collapsed his tent. I had one paw on Ghost and fortunately was chewing on the tent poles rather than him, and I just saw some big piles of dried elephant dung and pelted the lion with it really hard. That didn't work, so I threw thorn branches at it, but that didn't work either. And by now, the lion had Ghost by the elbow and was seriously showing him. My friend was screaming. I was nearly naked and was screaming as well, and ran up to the lion and beat it with my big piece of a tree. But it didn't work, and it did nothing. And then our head ranger, Tomalet Setaboja, came out. I was smashing the lion with a branch, but it would not stop showing on guts and hardly even blinked when Tomalet threw a thunder flash banger used to scare hippos close to it. The lion jumped a bit, but was so hungry and so desperate, and this was its last chance at a kill to feed, or it would die, so it restarted its attacks and began trying to hit God again. Then Tomalet jumped into the land cruiser and ran the lion over, but it would not leave God alone, and he had to run it over 3 times before it let go and ran off into bush. The lion was astonished which was the kindest thing to do for it, as it was skin and bone, and would have died an agonizing death at the jaw of other lions, or starving to death if left alone. We passed Gulf out and drove him to a hospital in Mao, which was a very bumpy 50-mile drive, which took 3 hours, which was very painful for him, where a doctor sorted him out. It was then airlifted back to Windhoek in Namibia, where he lives, and taken to hospital there, and is recovering from so many bites. I cannot even guess how many fang holes he has. It is important to say that there is nothing reckless in camping in tent out in the wild, as that is the only way you can do your research in the wild, as there is no other way of doing it. What happens was extremely rare, where an old lion is driven out of its pride and was starving to death. And to get a meal, this was its last roll of the dice, and he was so desperate. Ghost will heal in time, and we'll be back on the team soon, and the lion was put out of its misery. This was not normal lion behavior, but it had no other option to try and stay alive, he said. The pair were part of a strong team from the Wild Bird Trust that works throughout Southern Africa and were on an expedition in Botswana funded by the U.S. National Geographic Society. They are both Namibian-born but have German ancestors, and either have or are entitled to German passport and nationality through their parents. They spend much of their time in the wilds of Africa. Lucky to be alive, Neve had 16 deep and extremely painful fang bites stitched up in his arms, shoulders, and head, which left him covered in blood, and he was also clawed by the lion. The single Neve, who lives in Windhoek, Namibia, said, I heard something moving around my tent and looked at the time, and it's 1:26 a.m., then saw a head pressed against my tent and a nose. Wow, this is so pathetic, I'm telling you the truth. You know, all these researchers, in fact, it is only God that can help them. All these researchers, in fact, he needs to be thankful of his life for being alive. Because we wonder what they are researching for in the first place. In fact, for him to be alive from that wicked lion, he needs to really, really be thankful about it. I am telling you. God help us. It is the Lord's doing, and it is even marvelous in his own sight for making him to escape the untimely death just because of researching unnecessary things, going into the wide forest to research. In fact, all these white people, in fact, I'm very sure that black people will not do such a thing. Black people will remember their life first. Black people will remember their family first before they think about going for a research in a wide forest. So guys, what do you think about this? What is your own take? Kindly drop your comments at the comment section below. For those who subscribe, we want to say a very big thank you to you for subscribing. We'll say God bless you. And if you're yet to do so, kindly press the subscription button below. And also, please don't forget to press the notification button so that whenever we upload news, you will definitely be the first person to watch our latest news anytime, any day. Thank you. Have a lovely day. Bye.